Okay, try this one more time. What you're seeing here is I made a hole in a magazine cover. Okay, I took my flashlight, I put it on one side of the hole. The light shines through the hole, and this is the image that projects on the wall. What is this? This is, as it's too thin to be a reflection of the light or anything making it, this is a fucking atom from the air inside the hole in the magazine cover. It isolates it. It's actually more than one atom because if you look, the lines around the center core, they kind of are off. There's multiple little circles. You can see the arc and shit. Um, so what's happening is the atoms stack. They stack with the cores at the center. And if you do a dual slit and you make the slit wide enough, you'll see stacked atoms in that slit. I mean, just it's plain and simple for me, but some of my other videos show. So, anyways, the atoms stack positive to negative via the core. That's what's in the center. I call it a core because it's protons, it's charge, it's that's all it is. There's no fucking neutrons. There is no neutrons. If energy is what everything is, if something has zero energy, then it isn't. Does that make sense? I don't know what they detected 200 years ago or fucking with what a fucked up equipment they had back then. I'm telling you right now, their shit is wrong. Okay, they're protons. They're charged. They are fucking voltage basically. Now the movement of those particles inside the atom, from the core to the rings to the electrons back to the, it actually just goes core to rings, and I think the more the electrons are kind of excess that's being tossed off. Um, Anyways, the core energy flows from that, turns into rings. The rings get pushed out farther and farther until they reach their limit, at which point the energy is pushed out of the ring. However, the ring remains. The energy is then reabsorbed by the negative side of the core, which is basically just the void created by these particles moving inside the atom. Think of the atom as a sealed system, okay? The pressure inside a star when an atom is created is so great, it basically seals this energy inside encapsulated space, okay? So the energy can't really get out, but nothing else can really get in unless it's small enough. It has to be small enough to enter. Anything bigger than an atom isn't going to be entered. It isn't going to get in there, obviously. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't have pull. So you have this sealed system with particles moving creates a pull. So it creates this void on the other side of the particles. And this void is what we refer to as negative. This would be an area of space with no charge, not less than zero charge, as most people think of negative. There's no way for something to have a less than zero charge, in realistically. We do it with AC electrical. That's kind of different, but as far as matter goes, matter is energy. Energy is matter. Um, it's just how that energy is encapsulated. And I know there's a reason for the atoms being the size they are. I'm still tossing around theories on that one. However, I've connected atoms to voltage, the electromagnetism, the movement of particles inside the atom that gives you current. The charge of those particles is your voltage. The magnetic field that it creates is your resistance. I don't know if anybody knew that, but resistance is controlled by magnetism. If you take some magnets, put it on a steel block, and test the resistance between various points on that steel block and where the magnets are and stuff, you'll get different values everywhere depending on how you arrange the magnets. Give it a try. It's kind of interesting. Anyways, where was I? Magnetic field, electrical field. Okay. Atoms have a shell of sorts. It's kind of on the outer edge. It's where the electrons are orbiting. The shell also, most of the time, I can pick it up. It's hard to pick up, but on the ones that look like just solid colored objects, white, whatever color I may have had it at the time, that is the shell you're seeing when the electrons are orbiting. The shell of an atom is created somewhat by light, I believe. I'm still working on this one too. Um, there's an explanation for everything in our universe. I mean, gravity is the pull created by these moving particles in combination with the electromagnetic pull of charge and whatnot. Um, there's an explanation for everything. This is going to change a lot of shit. All the mass that's missing in our universe can be found in the proton rings around every atom. The atomic model is incomplete. We have protons, something called neutrons, which I think is just the void created by the movement of protons, um, because the void obviously will be equal to the number of protons, yada, 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 moving. So, you get the idea. When they start moving, they get condensed, so on and so forth. It's like a, yeah, self fulfilling prophecy almost. Anyways, I'm running short on time. I got a minute and a half left. Let's see, where was I? Shell, electrons orbiting. Oh, electrons also have a positive and negative. You can see them in my videos. One part they're white, another part they're black if you trace them and follow them close enough. Also, this is proved by the cathode ray tube experiment, in which a electron was fired from a negatively charged cathode through a positive anode. Okay, important part here. If that electron was all negative, it would have slammed right into that positive anode. But because it was fired with the negative towards the negative cathode, the positive side of the fucking electron would have been facing the anode, and the anode would have directed it through the center of it by repelling it to that point. So that's how we already know that electrons have a positive and negative. That's the only duality of an electron. They aren't waves and particles like fucking every. How is something a wave and a fucking particle? In order to have a wave, you need fucking mass. You can't have a wave for no fucking reason. Light leaving the sun doesn't travel in a wave. It travels in a straight fucking line. It's the only way it can travel. If it was traveling in a wave, it would have to travel 3 times the distance in the same amount of time, and that would make the speed of light faster than the speed of light, now wouldn't it? Anyways, I'm almost out of time. If you have any questions, post them. I'm happy to answer anything you might have. I'm not crazy. I know what the fuck I'm talking about here. So, signing off for now. Late.